Up for Discussion Live. Hosted by Jeff Sylvia and Shannon Sylvia. Bringing you the hottest topics, the coolest guests, and a live chat. So you can be part of it all. Up for Discussion Live starts now.
After 6 years, it never gets old saying thank you all for joining us for the only show that has anything up for discussion live here with me, Jeff, alongside the lovely Shannon, and all of you, because this is interactive webcast television. Shannon, how you doing tonight, sweetheart?
I'm feeling interactive tonight.
You are?
How are you?
you must be like running on fumes, kid.
I was on fumes a couple hours ago, but it's all good.
Big day.
I'm looking forward to a break.
Yeah, we've got one coming up, too. Absolutely.
A break and a vacation.
Yeah.
And sun.
Yeah, well, in a couple of weeks we won't be with you guys because we are going to parts unknown to take our very white, translucent asses out of here and go put some color on them. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. We're gonna leave our Irish tan behind and work on that for a little bit.
Sure, absolutely.
And it's deserved. It'll be our first vacation in 3 years, a real vacation, not just a
Has
weekend
it been that
getaway.
long, really? Already?
3 years ago, we went to the Dominican Republic.
It's been that long. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I just can't wait. It's just I'm terrified to leave my business behind, but
you'll be all right.
You know what? If the place doesn't burn down, which can happen, we'll be in good hands.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. We want to thank all of you for joining us around the globe on your handheld mobile devices on upfordiscussionlive.com. And also, as always, we want to start off by saying a huge thank you to everybody over there at LATV, starting right at the top with Carl and Tina, followed by Jack, Jane, and Robert. These guys do a fantastic job over there, and we really appreciate what you guys do with us as well.
Did you see the picture, the retro picture of Jane when her hair was red years ago?
No, I didn't. She has red hair. She had red hair?
She had red hair.
Really, huh?
I don't know. Some people liked it.
Okay. All right.
Just fascinating. I just thought I'd share.
All right. That's cool. We got a great show for you guys tonight. We have a lot going on and lots to talk about. And it, of course, is now the holiday season, Shannon. And we would be remiss if we did not give a very special thank you to, let's call it an unsung hero. A couple of weeks ago, I had put up on my Facebook page that a family that we knew needed some help. Yep. They were not going to be able to get a Christmas tree this year, weren't going to be able to get any decorations or anything. Kind of hit on hard times and put it out there to you guys who always respond. You guys are always so great and so generous. And a person who did not want to be mentioned stepped up huge and brought the tree. Yeah, brought the tree, brought the decorations, delivered them all to storage, and we were able to deliver them to the family who was ecstatic, I imagine.
She was very surprised.
She was good.
Very surprised. So it was just a nice thing, you know, and lots of outpouring support from the community. Actually, we ended up with about 5 or 6 Christmas trees.
Yeah.
And he delivered the best one that was pre-lit and 6.5 feet tall.
Wow.
It was just really special. So, and he didn't want any recognition. I gave him a thank you up and down till the cows came home.
I hope you sent him off with a cannoli or a cupcake or something.
He was in a hurry. It looked like he had a lot of family in the car with him. So when he dropped the stuff off, and it was just slick. He was in it now. I would have offered him anything, but. So big thank you to him for stepping up. That's huge.
That is huge. And hello to everybody listening in the chat room. John Goodfellow and Rusty and NC Becky and Greg. And if you're new in green, Schmoogle Pumpkin or whoever you are.
Schmoopy Bumble. You weren't even close.
Feel free to. Well, that's because I need my glasses. I don't wear my glasses for the show. I'm kind of.
You really should though. They look good on you.
I'll work.
I've bought you probably close to 9 or 10 pairs.
Maybe next year. I'm working on that.
I'm wearing mine.
If you are in green, what you want to do is you want to click on that little green guy, and you can change your name to something that we and you recognize, right? You can change your age, your shoe size, anything like that. And we can even make you blue so you can be a member. That'd be pretty cool. And Shannon, speaking of Good Samaritans, it is the season that we talk about stuff, in the giving of the season and stuff like that. And everybody with this politically correct crap about the holidays. First of all, I'd like to correct that right now, as Jack Shelley did so eloquently this morning. It is Christmas. It is Merry Christmas. A holiday is something that you celebrate with a family. A holiday could be Thanksgiving, it could be Easter, but these holidays, Shannon, have names, and the one coming up happens to be Christmas. So if you say happy holidays to me, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to say to you,
John Goodfellow just said it in the chat.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Merry Christmas, John. Merry Christmas.
Well, I mean, we can't exactly say Merry Christmas to someone like Mitch Silverstein, who
You
is
can
Jewish.
say Happy Hanukkah. Or,
Well, yeah, sure, but
Kwanzaa,
how are we
right?
supposed to know who half the people are Jewish or not?
well,
You know, like my customers, I can't be like, well, Happy Hanukkah, you look Jewish. No, you can't do that. You have to just kind of wing it.
Merry.
That's the only reason why I would say Happy Holidays, because I just don't know.
Merry Christmas.
I know.
That's what it is.
I just don't know what to do.
Well, you know, speaking of Good Samaritans, you have a story, Shannon, which you brought to my attention.
I do.
Tell everybody what you found this
Well,
week.
I was
That's
searching
awesome
for
story.
my odd news stories for the week here, and I came across this great story, and this warms my heart. And there's a lot of this going on. I mean, there's a lot of turmoil, more and more going on, and we have Ebola and ISIS and all that other crap going on. But I'm finding more and more there are people stepping up, helping out for charity. It was a little slow during the bad economy, but things are bouncing back. And this feel-good story comes from New York City, and quite surprising, but wonderful. The story is about some well-off Manhattan residents that paid $100 apiece to sit at tables to have Thanksgiving dinner with the homeless.
Wow, how cool
The
is
homeless
that?
sat with them. So what a great opportunity to get to know them.
Okay.
Get their stories, maybe ask, how'd you end up here? What's your plans? Do you have any?
Sure.
This was in honor of the homeless. They ate at a candlelit holiday dinner with the people at a church, an intersection of two worlds that left one down on his luck man thinking the seemingly impossible. 500 people, Jeff, came
Wow.
forward and spent $100 to sit at a table for this charity.
That's awesome.
The story goes, what if a love connection happened tonight between the haves and have-nots? A 44-year-old Craig James said before guests arrived. Well, James, who had been homeless since losing a security job 4 years ago, volunteers at St. Bartholomew's Church in Manhattan, a very big church. This is where the dinner occurred. The Reverend Edward Sutherland called the unusual mealtime gathering a smashing success.
Okay.
He hopes that it will become a nationwide trend, which I think it should. I really do.
think it should, too. I think it should,
When the
too.
food was passed, we all became equal, he said, and that's all what it's about. That's
That's
pretty
it is,
damn
too.
cool.
That is, too.
About 500 people, serenaded by piano and saxophone, ate a large amount of food at round tables with red tablecloths beneath the church's tall dome. Chefs from the New York Palace and the Waldorf Astoria hotels volunteered and provided turkeys, buttered mashed potatoes, red velvet cake, pumpkin cheesecake, and other delights.
Damn.
He said the dinner provided donors a safe environment to meet those who benefit from their charitable instincts. Guest Andrea Naiman said the meal was a great equalizer. It didn't feel like an event where there were a lot of homeless people.
Okay.
Another person agreed. They're intelligent people, he said. Of course they are. They're people just down and out.
Yeah.
Sutherland said he was encouraged that not only 2 of 167 people who bought dinners asked not to be seated with the more than 250 homeless. Really?
Oh, wow. There's always one
What
or
did they
two.
think?
There's always one or two.
Among guests were law firm partners, investment professionals, executive teachers, social workers, writers, artists, musicians, and retirees. Not everybody was wealthy. He said one couple saved so they could buy tickets to be there.
I love stuff like this.
Yep.
I really do.
A host at each table managed relationships. Both groups tend to be a little high maintenance. Many wealthy people have mental illnesses. Many are addicts to substances.
Really?
It's probably at the same rate as the homeless people.
They just
Well,
have-
come on, that's not a surprise.
They just have money to fuel their addiction, that's all.
I mean, look at us. Is there a single celebrity that doesn't have addiction problems?
Really.
It just manifests itself differently. It was treated differently. The Waldorf Astoria director of culinary said the hotel served about 1,800 people. This will be a fun and easy day for us, he said. Heather Mitchell, a paying guest, said she expected some would be made uncomfortable. But how many dinner parties do you go to with the same people of same socioeconomic status, and you're bored to tears?
Right. Yeah, really.
It was a very good mix-up. So it was like having the lime and lamb lay down together for this very special event. It went off. There wasn't a single problem.
Wow.
It brought one of the guests to tears. Just to bring all these people together. It was a nice event.
That is cool. We have a little musical accompaniment from that event. I think you said there was sax music. Yeah, there was.
God.
There's a little sax music from the event.
I never know when you're kidding or not. Like, I thought that you were going to actually get audio. I'm like, hey, let's listen to it. Awesome.
Yeah, they had this guy. Remember this guy?
Excellent. We really should see the video, though, because it's just funny. This is the Saxo bomber that just repeatedly plays Careless Whisper over and over again in the public. He'll burst into college campuses and walk into restaurants and grocery stores, and just he won't stop playing that chord. It's funny.
That is, though. I mean, all kidding aside, it is fantastic to hear stories like that. And Rusty in the chat room mentions ever so smartly that it is good to get away from the Ferguson stuff and the crap that's on the news. And that's kind of like the theme that we're going to go with tonight, guys. Yep. A little bit later in the show, we're going to talk about how the media controls you guys and us and tries to shove stuff down our throats, i.e. ISIS and Ferguson and all that stuff. And it's nice to get away from mainstream media once in a while and all the crap that they're shoving at you, all the negative crap. What's that?
I wish everybody could see your Stewie pants.
You channeling
Family Guy pants.
Yeah, we are wardrobe from the waist up here at the studio. Thank goodness. This is. It used to be a radio show with no wardrobe and no lights, and now we have to do a little bit of wardrobe. So.
No, he has flannel pants with Stewie on them.
Of course we do. Of course.
You really should show them.
I will, just not right now.
Yeah, see, Rusty says show them. They don't believe me.
Oh, really? All right, hang on. Let's see if I can.
It's funny.
I don't know if I can.
It's all about the comfort here.
I don't know if I can stand up and do this.
Just
I'm going to get
for
off
like
the
1
screen.
second.
No, I can't. I'm going to go off the screen if I do that. We'll work on that.
Even John Goodfellow says wait for it.
Yeah, I can't.
Can you just lift your leg up or something?
I'll try to lift my damn leg. Jesus.
He says he'll give you $1.
All right, here we go. Here's my Stewie pants, right?
Yes. And your slippers.
My Stewie pants.
You're winning. Winning.
All right. So we'll do that and stay in the shot. It was amazing. Yes. Pajama bottoms from the waist down and wardrobe on the ride up.
Meanwhile, I have nothing exciting on from the waist down.
Yeah. It's exciting to me, babe.
Yoga pants. Ooh, Adam would love that.
Yeah, it's exciting to yoga pants. Just not for nothing, but yoga pants are exciting to every male, hot-blooded male.
If you can pull it off.
Sorry.
If you can pull it off. We are actually going to a birthday party Friday night for a man. The event page on Facebook was a picture of him, and the background was all girls doing downward dog in yoga pants. And everybody's supposed to be wearing yoga pants at this party Friday, you included.
Oh, God.
They're very excited.
They might be a little uncomfortable with me wearing yoga pants. I
think you should, though.
I don't fit in them exactly the same.
No, that'd be kind of gross. But it's just funny because I didn't realize how much he loved yoga pants.
The bits and bobs would be hanging all over the place, right?
Oh, God.
Is that what it is?
That's all I wear.
Speaking of the season and giving and being a good Samaritan, coming up very soon, December 11th at 6 p.m. at the Apple Hill Farm on Jocelyn Street in Leominster. Make sure you guys locally here stop into the 10th annual Cool Talk Christmas Party. It is free to get in, guys. All you got to do is bring a couple of toys for the Toys of Tots Foundation. And again, Toys for Tots is not just for the very young. They support kids up to 16 years old, so you can bring anything. And I'll tell you, this place is pretty high mucky muck, and you can get in for just a couple of toys. That's a pretty good deal.
Oh my God! And have Shancake's providing dessert. That's just worth the price of admission right there.
That's right. Very special dessert coming from Shancake's. What are you making? Any idea?
He wants me to do an assortment of pastries. I put it up on the page. Any requests and. Mike basically just said everything. So.
Are you talking about Shancake's that was voted #1 best bakery and best dessert in Central Massachusetts?
Was it voted #1 best bakery and best desserts in Massachusetts?
I believe it might have been. Could that be one and the same?
I earned that.
You did very well.
It's all good.
Yes, you
It's
did.
all good. Just anybody could do it if you just put your mind to it. And just that's all you need is just hard work and put your mind towards something.
Yeah.
I'm glad Thanksgiving's over, Jeff.
Oh,
I just have to
my
say
God.
that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break the thing here,
okay.
but I hope you guys all had a good one and it was peaceful and we had a peaceful one.
Okay.
But it was just a busy one. It's always busy.
I'm glad that we took matters in our own hands and decided to cook this year because that way we had leftovers.
Yeah.
Last year, we ended up at a friend's house. No, friend's house was nice. We had a good time. I assisted quite a bit in the cooking.
Oh, we both
quite
did.
extensively.
Wait a minute, Jeff, is this the same friend's house last year that we had to go to Denny's after we left the house after Thanksgiving dinner? Because I remember sitting at Denny's watching you eat.
You always steal my punchline, but we did. We ended up, true story, we ended up Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving night after the festivities, we ended up midnight rendezvous at Denny's.
Oh, it wasn't at midnight. It was like 6 p.m.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, no, it was early because we were supposed to have a second meal that day at their house, but she decided not to serve it because a couple people didn't show up.
All right. Stop hating. It's supposed to be the holidays. My God.
No, we didn't need the extra
get you cranked up.
Get pancakes on Thanksgiving. Who does that?
Right?
It's all good.
All right.
I'm just glad Thanksgiving's over now. Oh my God, like Christmas is 2 days away.
Yeah, for us it is.
Friggin' Black Friday and Cyber Monday and
yeah, not into that. Glad I can shop online. Not into the crowds, not into camping out, sitting there and waiting and elbowing people and trying to get the deal. That's just not my speed, kid. I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad that the eating part is over and that we got a vacation coming up. It's perfectly timed.
Oh, God,
Get away from all this madness.
Oh, God, yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree with Rusty. Black Friday was a letdown this year. I agree. And Cyber Monday, I was looking for these killer deals. These weren't deals that you couldn't get any other time of the day if you caught a good sale.
No?
No, I wasn't wowed at all. There was nothing that was like, wow, my God, like I have to get that.
Well, it's like anything else. You got to know your prices. I mean, if you go in there and people are making a big deal about it, it's all the media hoopla that motivates you.
It's ridiculous. I mean, who needs something that bad? Who goes to stores 36 hours in advance to wait in line for something? Back in the old days, Cabbage Patch Kids, that's what people did.
I know. It's funny because the Buick commercial, that's all. You get the guy that comes out and says, he's got a black eye. He's like, I went there hours early and I saved hundreds of dollars. And the guy with the Buick just hits his remote and says, I just shopped online, saved thousands.
What's with the people in the car commercials on Christmas? Who gets a car for Christmas?
Oh, I know. It's
what?
Like
and it always has that
the Lexus with the bow.
The big bow.
The big bow, of course.
It had a big bow on the car, and the guy just comes out and goes, boop, boop, and he's like,
well, true story. I got a Toyota for Christmas last year. Actually got it for your birthday.
Jeff, you went out and bought it.
Well,
because somebody hit you.
Car at Christmas.
You needed a car, but it's not like you. I mean,
but I had a new car at Christmas.
I know, but that was a needed item because.
All right, just give me my minute. That's as close as I'm going to come to that commercial. Okay, bow or no bow, it's as close as I'm going to come. I was able to get into a new car at Christmas.
I want a Mercedes SLK.
New car smell.
2006 or 2007.
All right, we got a lot to get to, guys. Breaking news. Unfortunately, some sad news coming out of the Rolling Stones camp. Rolling Stones saxophonist Bobby Keys passed away today at the age of 70.
Only 70?
Yeah, he's only 70 years old.
What happened?
And everybody thought Keith Richards was going to be first, man. How he's still alive, anybody's guess. But, yeah, great saxophonist.
Because he wears yoga pants. Keith Richards wears yoga pants. Oh, true story.
That's why he's still alive?
No, wait, Mick Jagger. Am I even talking about the right band? I'm not a Rolling Stones fan.
Okay.
It's Mick Jagger. He wears yoga pants.
Yeah. You're going to take it off the rails again tonight, aren't you, kid?
I'm tired.
You see it. Yeah. That's great. Okay.
Sorry. I'll just
there are a lot of Rolling Stones fans out there, Shannon, and this guy was an iconic
Keith Richards is from
player.
Walking Dead.
And no, Keith Richards is not from Walking Dead, dumbass. Keith Richards is the guitar player from...
You muted my microphone.
I did. Because you
actually...
I will if you do that again. Keith Richards is the guitar player for the Rolling Stones, sweetheart. Okay? He's not with the Walking Dead. Okay? All right. Yeah. Here's Shan's pout face. Go ahead. Give us the pout face. There it is. All right. We're never going to get through the show if we don't get to all this stuff. We got to talk about...
I'm unmuted.
What? Yeah, you're unmuted. Okay. All right. We got a lot to talk about tonight, even if Shannon is going to try to hold us back. We're going to get through this one way or another. We're going to talk about Ray Rice. We're going to talk about how media controls you. And yes, Shannon, you will have your opportunity, as only you can do, to ask the world who does that. We'll be taking your calls, and also we're going to hear what JT thinks. So, guys, we're going to get this thing back on the rails. Hopefully, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back more on UpForDiscussionLive.com.
Up for Discussion with Jeff and Shannon Sylvia. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Up for Discussion Live with Jeff and Shannon is brought to you in part by Bailey's Bar and Grill, Sasquatch Coffee, and Village Pizza.
All right, guys, we do invite you to call in every week. We invite you to join us 24/7 on our live call-in number, which is 323-902-6661. You can feel free to call in throughout the show. Tell us your thoughts, your profound statements, your feelings. And one person, Shannon, of course, that takes advantage of that every week is JT. And it's time to find out, of course, what JT thinks.
Hello, Jeff and Shannon. JT from L.A. That's right, Shannon. The Leominster Happy Pancake area. You know, Jeff and Shannon, I hate going out on first dates. I'm 65 years old, and most of the women I meet are either widowers or they've just gotten divorced. I remember my last first date, I took this attractive lady out to dinner, and while we're waiting for our food to come, she starts talking about her ex-husband. She starts saying, "The whole time I was married, all my husband did was work, come home from work, eat, lay on the couch, and watch TV." Well, you know, Jeff and Shannon, that's exactly what I like to do. Oh, I tell you, it's rough. Yep. You know, Jeff and Shannon, women want to be with me, and men want to be me. What are you going to do? Such is the life of JT. Love, Jeff and Shannon. Bye-bye.
I want to be with JT. Do you want to be JT?
I'm considering that.
JT, I want to be with you.
And I'm considering being you.
JT, you got to come by the shop. I have new cannolis. Oh, my God, they'll rock your world. I haven't seen you in a while. Come on by.
All right.
I need to know you're okay.
And yes, the reason, Jeff Kincannon, that you can see us now is that we made some adjustments to the stream. We made some equipment adjustments, and everything has been smoothed out now. So it's not like watching a damn slideshow anymore. Thank God.
Thank God for sponsors.
Yeah, thank God for sponsors.
Sponsors are for. They can make our stuff work again.
That's right. And speaking of which, we want to say thank you to those sponsors who stand behind us and support us on the show. Village Pizza up there in North Leominster. Fantastic true Italian pizza. If you'd like to find out more, you can visit them over on the King's Corner, or you can call them at 978-343-7722. And also, we want to say thank you to our friends over there at Leominster Storage Solutions. You can visit them online at leominsterstorage.com, Shannon, or call them today at 978-466-8887. And you are...
I don't have to
belching away.
I'm sorry. I just had to. I was kind of feeling like that was stuck in my throat. And I'm surprised you didn't mute me.
Well, no. I'm glad I didn't get you on camera. I was probably wanted to give the full effect for our folks.
I can belch way better than that, guys. That was nothing. That was
yes,
what do you call it?
That was a guy. That was
a BBD.
What was that?
Belch but deadly.
Belch but deadly. You making up new stuff again? All right.
At least it didn't smell like anything weird.
Yeah. Okay. All right. A lot to get to tonight. Former Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice has won his appeal from an indefinite suspension, Shannon, and has been reinstated into the NFL. Rice is now eligible to sign with any NFL team. He would like to thank Judge Barbara Jones. I'm sure he did. The NFL Players Association, his attorneys, agents, advisors, family, friends, and fans, but most of all, his wife, Jenna. Rice said in a statement released by the NFLPA on Friday, "I made an inexcusable mistake and accept full responsibility for my actions." He actually was on an interview today, and he said, my wife had nothing to do with it. She's an angel. I take full responsibility for anything and everything that happened, and now he is eligible to play for any NFL team. Now, this does have two sides to it, okay? The guy's obviously a scumbag. He beat up his wife. You see the elevator recording. You see what happens. He basically cold cocks her, knocks her unconscious, drags her out of the elevator. Horrible scene there. The NFL suspends him immediately, while immediately finding out about the tape. They didn't originally, Shannon, because, of course, they claimed that they didn't know anything that had happened.
There was proof they knew.
Of course they knew. So they get suspended, and then they suspend him for a couple of games, and then they suspend him indefinitely, which I guess is an illegal thing to do, so now he's not suspended.
Maybe it's illegal to suspend somebody for breaking the law.
Well, I guess it's illegal to suspend somebody for 2 games and then rescind that suspension and reissue a suspension indefinitely, I guess was the issue.
Okay, not a role model. He's an effing liar, and he's corrupt and did a very bad thing. Just kick him off the damn team. What's the problem here?
You hear me all the time talk about athletes and movie stars and television stars and people that are in the public eye that always service to their communities to be upstanding citizens and examples in their communities. And this is obviously a case where this is the absolute worst example. But let me ask you this. If it's you or I, first of all, are we going to lose our job because of a domestic dispute?
Why not? I mean, you can lose your job over peeing marijuana in your urine. I mean, that's not illegal, right? It's just
it's a fair question, and believe me, I'm not taking Ray Rice's side. As a matter of fact, I'm pleased that the NFL suspended him indefinitely. I hope no team picks him up, and although he has not gone to court yet, there is undisputable evidence. In the whole thing. And here's the NFL at the same time showing these commercials, Shannon, against domestic violence.
Yeah, I know.
And these people are almost in tears.
Bullshit.
And here you go. Right behind the scenes, you know exactly
bullshit.
what's happened.
PR bullshit. I mean, you always used to say, like, why do you worship celebrities and singers and rock stars? Yeah, okay, why don't you worship athletes that suck these days and they're getting caught? That's the problem. They're getting caught for stuff finally.
Well, believe me, I'm the first one to stand up and say that they should be held accountable and responsible. But here's the thing. If somebody we knew, let's say a couple, had a weekend like this and somebody went off and hauled off and hit their wife, wrong thing to do, gets thrown in jail, hasn't been to court yet, hasn't even gone to trial yet, does his boss come in Monday morning and say, you're dismissed from your job?
If a policeman did that, they would be suspended indefinitely until this matter is solved.
So maybe it's because they're in the public eye that they have to be suspended. But let's say it's somebody working at UPS or Market Basket. I mean, do they deserve to lose their job?
If there's indisputable proof, as you mentioned, yes.
Well, there's indisputable proof because the guy's on a camera that was caught in the elevator, but he hasn't even been to trial yet, and that's the thing. I mean, of course, you see what you see, and this is now again we're talking about the court of public opinion and how the media, takes these things and rams them down your throat, but at the same time. Here's a guy that hasn't even been to trial yet, and he's already lost his livelihood.
Jeff Kincannon in the chat says, my boss would tell me I'm no longer working there.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that would work for major companies that if a scandal that big broke out, they don't want anything to do with it. Just going to back off or let them go. I mean, I think they would have legal grounds to let them go. A school teacher. If a school teacher is posing in an adult magazine, and it wasn't in her contract, the school let her go.
That's true. But you know what? She ended up coming back.
She ended up coming back because there was protests.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the school, people do act accordingly depending on morals, values, or whatever they think. But lots of people have lost their jobs because they tested positive for drugs.
That's true.
I mean, that's not the company sending them to jail. That's just saying you're no longer working here.
But I guess you hit the right word there. That's policy, and I think that's what the NFL has been working very hard to improve on is their policies, because we have scandals with drugs, we have scandals with murder, we have scandals with beating of children, we have scandals of beating of spouses.
Yeah.
The NFL really has to do a lot of work in sharpening their policies and making it very crystal clear that there is no tolerance for any of this. And, I'm sad that he's reinstated. I think that's the wrong message to send to a league that's already sending, or I should say from a league that's already sending a very negative message.
Hey, Hip just had the best comment. Look what's happening with Bill Cosby. He's resigning from all his chairman of the board things with colleges.
That's true.
He hasn't even gone to court yet.
That's true.
I mean, it's just the moral thing to do.
Yep.
And Jeff has another good point. You don't have to pee and you don't have to. What was it? I had to read his exact thing.
Pee dirty while working equals gone.
Why don't you have to pee clean to get welfare? You're getting paid to be on drugs, perhaps. But yet you can work for a company and possibly be let go because you were doing drugs. This is a whole other subject, but
it is.
I mean, Bill Cosby hasn't been found guilty yet, and everybody's letting him go everywhere.
Yeah.
There are sponsors and commercials that as soon as an athlete is in the spotlight with a scandal, they're dropped.
Sure, look what
It's
happened to
policy.
Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods lost all his sponsors.
And that was just an
when he was-
affair. I mean, that wasn't beating. That was just an affair. That was just an affair, but it's negative press.
Right.
These athletes, this ball player, whatever he is he football?
Yeah.
I don't even know. They all blend in. This football player is supposed to be like a god, like he's an athlete. He's the best of the best. You shouldn't be screwing up.
No.
That's why you're getting paid billions and cajillions of dollars.
I agree.
You're supposed to be the best of the best. You're supposed to be on your A game. You're supposed to perform with the utmost excellence. And how can that be happening with all this crap going on in his mind?
Well, how about if we do this? I mean, there are tons of athletes out there that are extremely talented, that are waiting for an opportunity. And why give this guy a second opportunity, I guess, is my question. He's now come public. He made a public statement. He's asking the world to forgive him. He's saying, look, I made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. It's a one-time incident. Other than that, I've been an upstanding citizen. I deserve to be back in the league and playing football and making my millions of dollars, and you guys need to be buying my jerseys. Michael Vick, same thing with the dog fighting. I've done my time. I've paid my debt to society, and now I want another chance. Do you think these guys, Shannon, deserve another chance?
No.
You guys in the chat room, do you think they deserve another chance, or should it be next in line? Should it be the guy behind him that's been working his ass off in the practice squad for 6 years, just trying to get that opportunity to play? What do you think?
They're saying that if you're in the public eye, you're a role model. Period.
Next. I like it. John Goodfellow, next.
Yeah.
I like it. Next in line.
There's 1,000 other athletes that are dying for your position. If you're going to disrespect that position, then go the hell away.
And that's
disappear.
That is an absolute perfect way to say it. It's disrespecting the position, it's disrespecting the league, and it's disrespecting the fans.
And the wife. I mean, come on, don't forget about her. That poor thing.
Wow.
She's never happy.
Not only is it disrespecting her, but it also brings up an interesting twist, because the wife is now saying, hey, no big deal. We got through it. He's fine. This is all. And you know why they're doing that, Shannon, is because God forbid he doesn't get that humongous salary coming in. Who's going to pay the Bentley payment and send her off to Rodeo Drive shopping?
Sad.
You know what I'm saying?
I hope we're wrong by saying that. I do. I hope we're wrong.
Oh no, I wholeheartedly believe this. Whether I'm right or wrong, this is my belief, and I've read a lot of articles to this effect that there are women out there that are spouses of NFL players that are afraid to come forward because of the massive salary and lifestyle that they're given. They almost feel trapped in this lifestyle, not only from the abuse but also from the money, Shannon.
Well, yeah, and I've seen reality TV shows where they admit that the spouses had multiple girlfriends on the side.
Sure.
They knew about it. 'Cause
Sure.
what can you do about it? It's
That's
either
right.
divorce them and somebody else will take your place.
That's sad.
But people choose. That's a choice. That's a sad, sad choice. And these are women that have nothing else to live for except for this one guy. They don't have their own being. No. They most likely don't run a business or have their own lives, or they're not independent. They're just sucking off some guy's money and getting the attention from it. But that's not all of them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some loving relationships, and I'm sure there's some monogamous relationships, and I'm sure some are great. But they're not most of the time. They're not.
No, you're right. I mean, there's plenty of dirty laundry out there to be had, and unfortunately, I think you nailed it earlier. I think there needs to be very strict policies put in place that are very public. And when something goes wrong, they should be made public, and they should be made a public spectacle of. Because how in the world are people going to respect that league and the players in that league and continue to pay the exorbitant prices to go to these games, Shannon, and support this sport? I mean, this is a huge, huge industry. It's not for nothing. There's a lot of money to be made and lost by one day or just a piss poor decision, if you think about it.
It's sad. It's all voluntary. People decide they want to live like that, then they have to pay the price.
No.
There's no way that she's happy. I mean, no big deal. She abused him the next day. Abused him, bailed him out. It's just sad. It's just sad. And look at Rihanna. Everybody worships the ground she walks on, and she took it over and over again from that kid publicly. And then she puts out an album with him, oddly enough, after the incident, after she had a restraining order against the guy, and then oddly enough, they're in the studio recording together. Come on. Did some executive not come along and say this might not be a good idea?
That might be a good idea.
That's horrible. What kind of message is that sending to young girls? This guy must be the bomb. I got to stay with him. This is the price to pay.
Well, obscure reference. I mean, even when she is trying to get out, the Jared Remy case, where Jerry Remy is an announcer for the Red Sox and a former Red Sox Major League Baseball player, made tons of money, got his kid the best of lawyers. And worst case scenario, domestic violence happened. The kid got a slap on the wrist. He got excused. He got a second chance. Got his second chance. And what happened? He went back there and he killed her, Shannon.
Yeah.
He killed that poor girl.
It's actually pretty too.
And now she is gone.
Mother of his kid.
Absolute worst case scenario.
Mother of his child.
When you're talking about the Ray Rices of the world in the situations like this, you cannot dismiss any possibilities when it comes to domestic violence cases, because things that go on behind the scenes are sometimes held very privately, and Lord only knows. As we were talking to a couple of our state police friends a couple of weeks ago, they took the power out of the cops' hands to show up and say, hey, you cool off, you take a ride, you sit down over here in the corner and everything will be better tomorrow. Their job now is just to put somebody in jail, get everybody to court, and let the judge figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part about it all.
Well, it's just sad. It's pathetic. I'm sorry.
All right.
I have nothing more to say about it.
Well, what isn't pathetic, Shannon, is your segment, which
it's not pathetic
which
at
is
all.
brought to you by Leominster Storage Solutions. Of course, you can find them on Central Street. They're our favorite people over there for your storage needs, and you can find out more about them by calling 466-8887, or, of course, visiting them online at leominsterstorage.com. Oh, yeah, when you hear that music, it can only mean one thing. It's that segment of the program when Shannon Sylvia asks, who does that? And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shannon Sylvia.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging there. Because, good things come to those who wait. 3 stories just for you. Just for you. You. JT, too. And everybody. Everybody. But JT special.
Okay.
These stories are for him. First one comes out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Police say a Pennsylvania woman chased her boyfriend around a dining room and stabbed him in the chest. Why, Jeffrey?
Oh, boy.
Because he started eating Thanksgiving dinner while she slept off a bender.
Oh, he started eating too early? Is that what it was?
I love it.
You would do something similar to that if I was.
It depends on how much of a bender you are on.
Or how early I ate.
He was obviously trying to make a point and did not. She just wouldn't get up. So authorities say Jacqueline Blake confessed to officers who responded to her home. Thursday, found her boyfriend inside holding a towel over his chest over a wound. He was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. 47-year-old Blake is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, simple assault, reckless endangerment, making terroristic threats.
Oh, boy.
Wasn't clear if she has a lawyer. Hopefully she gets one, because this is pretty serious. According to police, Blake's boyfriend said she had been drunk earlier in the day. I'm sorry. That's just bad. I mean, Thanksgiving Day, don't you get that out of your system the night before?
I know.
She attacked him after waking up from a nap. She says she stabbed him and then threw the knife, striking him just below the eye. So the poor guy had 2 wounds.
Oh, boy.
On Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving. And doesn't even say whether or not the family was supposed to be coming to dinner.
Who does that?
Sad.
Wow. I kill you with this turkey, mister.
Oh, my God. She's pissed.
Rusty says, did she mute him?
Isn't that rude, Rusty? Isn't that rude?
What?
I'm his co-host, and he mutes me. Like he's doing right now. Freaking a-hole. Why would you mute me? You can't do the show without me.
I
so
can't.
You're just going to control me?
How's your back?
You going to control me?
How's your back from carrying the show tonight, kid? Is your back okay? That's good. All right. What else you got?
Douchebag. Mashantucket, Connecticut. Mashantucket? Like Mashantucket? I don't know. Competitive eater Joey Chestnut. You guys might have heard from him.
I'm with you too, Rusty.
What? What's Rusty saying? Don't let me scroll up in that chat when I'm done this story.
No.
I will.
He's with you. He's with you. He said, I'm with Shannon on this one. So
You'd better be right.
Okay.
Competitive eater Joey Chestnut. Now, as you know, he broke the world's record for the amount of hot dogs he consumes, which is just astronomical, as well as everything else. He won a turkey eating contest in Connecticut, setting a record by devouring an entire 20-pound turkey.
Wow.
Holy crap. I couldn't even get through 1.5 plates at Thanksgiving dinner.
We're still working on our 17-pound turkey a week later.
Oh,
almost.
my God.
Wow.
10 contestants vied to see who could eat the most of a 20-pound turkey in a competition at Foxwoods Resort Casino. Now, Foxwoods, that's not in Manchuntucket, Connecticut. No, that's an error because I've never heard of that town before, and we go to Foxwoods all the time.
Yeah.
He ate 9.35 pounds of meat off the bone in 10 minutes, according to a Major League Eating. The food equivalent of the NFL, he bested the previous record, which was held by Sonia Thomas, 5.25 pounds of turkey. So you take a 20-pound turkey and you only get 9.35 pounds out of it?
I don't know how
Between
you
you
do that.
take all the crap out?
But
that's a lot.
It probably wasn't a stuffed bird then, right?
Oh, well, yeah, but when you buy a frozen turkey in the store, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Where's all that heavy going?
I don't know.
I mean, the carcass is relatively light.
Well, you take out the neck and you take out the gizzard thing, but then you
What
stuff
is that,
it
a
with
pound?
stuff. Yeah, I can't.
No, I'm not talking about stuffing.
Okay.
Just the bird. I'm confused. He's a San Jose resident. We were just there. He turns 31 years old on Tuesday, is ranked the top competitive eater in the world.
Wow.
Took home a $5,000 check after stuffing his face with turkey. The remainder of the $10,000 purse was divided amongst other contestants.
Who does that?
Wow.
Holy crap. I wonder if he had like a big bowl of gravy next to it. You know how like when they're eating, they usually gobble a lot of water?
Yeah.
So that it helps you just slide it right down. Can you imagine like all that turkey and just go and just stuffing your face with it?
Well, remember
Awesome.
last week we were talking about Spravy.
Spravy?
That's right. Had a little Spravy with him.
It's bad enough I got used to spray butter. Now you want to try Spravy.
Yeah, we're going to get some Spravy.
It really sounds like something that would be sprayed on dry dog food to
I
make
think-
them eat it.
I think that's a brilliant idea. I mean, I really
Spravy.
do. I give complete
Did you make that
kudos.
up?
No, actually, I give,
Oh, okay.
I give complete kudos to Greg Hill on the morning show, the Greg Hill morning show on WAF, who made up Spravy.
Well, yeah, but he's not always right. So I bet you it was like pumpkin spice tampons. I bet you fell for that crap.
No, I actually heard it. It's Spravy.
I know. You heard it. Just like I heard there
Well,
was
it's
pumpkin
not a real
spice
product.
tampons.
No, it's not a real product yet. But it could be coming to a grocery store soon near you.
Rusty says the feminine hygiene spray called Sprunt.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you got us. Yeah, you got us.
If you don't use it, it's Sprint. All right. That's how do we get into this? Thank God this show's on at 9.
Oh, God. Wow.
We were talking about Spravy.
All right. And it's off the rails.
You know, tryptophan, they say if you eat enough of it, it actually does kick in. I bet you anything at 9.5 pounds of turkey that guy had a tryptophan comatose moment. There's no way he didn't.
Big poop and a big nap.
Yeah. A lot of protein.
That's a lot of protein.
Oh, speaking of protein, this last story comes from Paris, France.
Okay. Belly.
I've been there, and yes, they do smell. They smell pretty bad. Bad. Not all of them, but just most of them. This is a funny story. Disgruntled farmers have brought their sheep to the Eiffel Tower to protest wolf attacks in Paris, France, and what they call the government's anti-farmer environmental policies.
Yep, those are sheep.
The woolly protesters munched grass near the Paris monument. I didn't even know there was grass. It's all city, isn't it? Like New York City?
Munched grass.
It's probably like 1 12-foot patch of grass for
Okay.
tourists.
Yeah, not anymore.
They munched the grass near the monument while their owners urged tougher measures against wolf attacks. Government says its existing plan on preventing attacks and compensating farmers is sufficient.
Okay.
They want to also ensure protections for wolves.
Really?
Clearly, there's a problem here. The march Thursday came as President Francois Hollande spoke at an environmental meeting about plans for a cleaner energy and France's plans to host a UN climate change conference next year. One of the protesters said, the role that we play maintaining the landscape is that many visitors to France appreciate. Disgruntled people out there, Jeff. So they're just basically pissed off that the government is not doing anything to protect their sheep. So they
Okay.
flood the Eiffel Tower with billions of sheep.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Why? Can you imagine being a tour? This is like a huge tourist attraction, and there's like bazillions of sheep running around.
Who does that?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obscure reference. We have a sheep little thing going on here in Leominster.
We love our sheep. I think they're gone though.
No, I saw them. I saw them today. They're still there.
So they're going to be there all year.
Still there.
I thought they were only here till November.
No, they're still here.
I love it.
So what is exactly their purpose now? For those that don't know, there's a herd of sheep that it's in our landfill. Isn't that our old landfill? What's the purpose of that?
It used to be. Well, it's a landfill now. It used to be really ugly. I mean, obviously, as landfills get older, the ground sinks down, and they call it Whitney Field.
Okay.
They originally tried to plan to put a ballpark there. I don't know how that would work. But instead of paying the city to mow the lawn, they teamed up with an Ashburnham farmer, I believe it's Ashburnham, and he brought over tons of sheep on the side of the highway where this is all fenced in, and they're grazing out there. There's black-faced sheep, Scottish black-faced sheep.
Okay.
There's rams. There's little goats, and it was just quite a sight. I mean, I was driving to work. I go there every day. I go by it, and it's like the whole double take. Like, did I just seriously see a bunch of sheep? It reminded me of the English countryside.
It's so cool, though. I mean, you drive from your home, and you drive 5 minutes away, and it just feels like you're in a totally other country.
It's weird, but people love it. And there was a couple complaints saying it's smelly. It's not smelly. I'm sorry.
It's smelly. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? This is directly across the street from a wastewater treatment plant, guys. So your poop smells worse than sheep butt. Just saying. But they're beautiful and kind of neat to look at. Sometimes they gather by the side of the road, and people were pulling over to look at them.
Okay.
Just in their cars and take pictures.
Okay.
I mean, the newness is worn off, but when I made sheep cupcakes at Shancakes, people were piling in to buy those.
That's right, you did.
The sheep cupcakes.
I
love looking at it, and they have their own little. They have trailers that they can go in at night, and they're obviously fed and watered. And the owner shears them once in a while. Okay. So all of a sudden one day they're just completely naked, and then 2 weeks later they have these giant coats on them.
Oh, that's cool.
I love them. I saw the little babies out there. They're so cute.
It's different for our town. You know, it's kind of a neat experiment. And it looks like it's working pretty good.
We're a little bit urban, and
sure.
We have like 25 sheep on the side of the road. I love it, and a lot of people just love it. I think it's cute. I mean, the mayor does well here. He does he likes to think outside the box once in a while. It's a successful town. He's been the same mayor for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And he does good with that. And I like our sheep, and don't take them away. That'd be a sad day, because I really enjoy seeing them every day.
All right. When we get back, guys, we'll get one more topic to talk about, and we want to talk about how media controls you, from what you buy to what you think. Stick around, guys. You're watching Up for Discussion Live. We'll be right back after this.
Ay, 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 ay. I am the Frito Bandido. I like Fritos corn chips. I love them, I do. I want Fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you.
Hey, how about a nice Hawaiian punch?
Sure.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Mamma mia, that's some species. Cut spicy meatballs, Jack. Sorry.
Take 28.
Out, Tony, and action. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Cut. What was the matter with that? The accent. Huh. Cut. Cut. Micey, micey, ballsy, ballsy. Cut.
Take 59.
And action.
Sometimes you eat more than you should. And when it's spicy besides, Mamma Mia, do you need Alka-Seltzer?
Sooner or later, you're going to try a white owl. And when you do, we gotcha.
I love football. And now, back to Up for Discussion, right here on Para-Rock TV.
Welcome back to UpForDiscussionLive.com, also airing on LATV. And yes, Shannon, we take pride in showing those politically incorrect commercials that you could never show on today's television, because you couldn't have a Hawaiian Punch guy just punching another guy out, because you'd get hate mail that way.
His name's Ray Rice.
Be violence. Yeah, that's right. There'd be violence.
We'll just call him
people
Ray.
would be pissed off. That's right. It'd be a terrible thing. But here we are. We now are into our 6th year, almost through our 6th year. And we are happy to report that we are not regulated by the FCC. We do not conform to mainstream media. And unfortunately, you guys that are watching mainstream media, it's a shock to me to find out that just about 20 years ago, there were, 50 companies that owned all of the radio stations and television networks across the United States. Now, Shannon, there's 6. Five.
No,
Because somebody bought out CBS. They merged with Clear Channel or something like that. So, yeah.
So there's probably just 5 guys out there going, this is what I want to watch, and this is what I want to talk about, and this is what you're going to see, and this is how I think it should be aired.
And they're
awesome.
all hanging out at the same cigar club and, swapping notes. I guess the thing that strikes me is that how it impacts you. I mean, people don't realize how subtle it is, or how we can even imagine how it affects us in our behaviors. Well, to do that, we have to understand how our mind works. And, of course, we have the conscious and subconscious. The subconscious, of course, which we do not have direct control of. The two, however, are interrelated. What we think in our conscious mind and what is fed through in our experiences, visual, auditory, etc., are constantly passed into the subconscious mind. And it's the subconscious mind that affects behavior patterns overall throughout our lives. And there are certain examples that reflect this. Now, I'm going to ask you, can you think of any examples of how media may affect you, Shannon?
Oh, my God. I should be a size 2. I should have plastic surgery every other day. As far as news, they'll show you mostly the bad stuff. Hardly any of the good stuff.
Okay.
I know that for a fact.
So you feel a lot of pressure, first of all, as a woman, to look like a celebrity, to have that, let's call it Victoria's Secret type
yeah, my
model,
torso should be 72 inches long. My legs even longer. It's ridiculous. I mean, even as an old woman that I am, there's always pressure there. That's print media and commercial media and music videos and children now. There was an interview, Jeff. You'll find this interesting. They interviewed teenage girls.
Okay.
And I believe they were all at the age of 12. The interview, it said that 67% of them wanted to be a celebrity when they grew up.
Wow.
It was alarming. They wanted to be famous when they grew up.
Alarming.
That's sad because, there goes your teacher, your lawyers, your doctors, your anything jobs. They just want to be famous, and they think that they're going to be.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because the easiest way to explain advertising is the way it does affect children. And the media is using the unethical route of using children in their advertisements. When a child watches an advertisement and sees another child using a certain toothpaste, they demand it from their parents. If they see another child using a particular car to school or a particular product, particular phone,
celebrity endorsements.
There's tons of pressure.
Been around forever.
So.
You look at ads from the 40s and 50s, it was Clark Gable and all these pinup girls, celebrities.
Farrah Fawcett. You had the Marlboro Man, right? The Marlboro Man was famous.
I didn't.
Well, you did. You everybody else, but you didn't have the Marlboro Man, right?
Marlboro.
Marlboro.
No, but I wouldn't say he was a celebrity, but
he was an iconic figure as far as advertising, because everybody identified with him. And you talk about media slamming it down your throat, and years past now that they ban those commercials.
Yeah,
and I wonder why.
Yeah, you can't advertise cigarettes anymore. But you can still advertise alcohol though, which is amazing to me. And Jack Bauer's up there, Mr. DUI, selling tequila.
But we all have to agree at some level the psychological influence is there through these commercials. And, people, it's not just commercials, it's everything. It's what we watch in the news. And you alluded to it earlier about how there's, a bunch of crap you wake up to on the news, and, car crashes and plane crashes and people murders and people breaking into things and lootering and things like that. But you got to think about how the media, let's, for example, talk about how Ferguson, Missouri was manipulated by the media. Here, if you ask me, it's pretty damn simple. You have this black kid.
We weren't going to go there. Or
you
we
have
weren't.
You
Not
have
tonight.
this black kid that robbed a store.
You muted me.
Can I talk? The black kid robbed a store and ended up in a confrontation in a officer's automobile. I don't care what color you are, what race you are, what age you are, for that matter. Shannon, it's very unlikely that you or I are going to put ourselves in a position where we're in a confrontation in an officer's automobile. But the media makes it a racial thing, right up to President Obama. And they fuel the fire of the family. You have the stepfather, not even the real father. The stepfather's like, burn this thing down. Now he might go to court himself for inciting a riot. And, now the result is they burn their town down.
Yeah.
Black, white, doesn't matter. Your house is burned. It doesn't matter what it is, because people are just angry. And they're angry because of the shit they hear through the media. And instead of handling the case like they would if it was a white kid and a black police officer, or an Indian kid and an Egyptian police officer, or, a woman police officer and a fat kid. They make it a racial thing. They slam it down your throats, and they do everything they can to incite a riot and piss you off. Shannon.
Well, just like Black Friday. There's riots. That's bad. I'm sorry. My mother worked at Fort Devens for over 30 years, and one thing that she told me that I'll never forget, she worked under a 5-star general who was involved in 9/11 at the time that the bomb hit. And, plane. Conspiracy theory, here we go. You know what she told me? That Afghanistan and Iraq, they were really rebuilding out there, and the news never shows that. The schools were getting built. The people loved the soldiers out there. They were thanking them left and right. You never see that stuff. All we heard about was bad, soldiers dying, war everywhere. Yes, there's deaths and there's soldiers dying, but you never hear about the good stuff that's happened since 9/11.
No.
Nothing, hardly. I can't think of anything that they've ever aired out there saying all this stuff has been done since day one.
And unfortunately, what they give you for news is just exactly what they want you to hear. They want to make the bad guys the bad guys. And, I sat here one morning. I was just doing some stuff upstairs and listening to the television. And within a 5-minute span, I had never heard the word ISIS before, but I had now heard that word ISIS
too many times. Yeah.
74 times in 5 minutes. And it was like, will you please stop glorifying this group? They're making it sound like a football team. It also makes it sound like they should be like a club member, and how they're recruiting women and glorifying these people. That they're a bunch of malicious, murdering thugs that don't deserve a name or a headline. And you know what, guys? If they weren't in the newspapers, if they weren't on television, if they weren't being made popular by social media, Facebook, Twitter, all this stuff, what kind of fuel would they have? That's what they live on, Shannon. That's what they thrive on. And I'll tell you, we were talking about this earlier today at LATV. The biggest thing that the media uses to control you is fear. Because if you think about it, other than perhaps love, I don't think there's a stronger natural instinct than a fight or flight instinct from a human being. What better way to control you than to put the fear of God in you and then give you solutions that, of course, raise money for causes and other people?
Well, it's also like driving by the car accident. You have to look. It's just human nature. People would rather feed on fear and drama than watch a boring story about lion cubs with their mom,
Yeah, very true.
It's just the way it is.
It is true, and very well said in the chat. Fear equals consumption, and war definitely fuels the economy, unfortunately. Guys, that's it for us this week. We thank you all for joining us, and we will be back next week. We've got a couple more shows this year and a lot to cover still. We're going to tell you about a little contest we got coming up for a little special coffee company we got hanging around. So we'll see you guys next week, same time, same station. Until then, good night.
Good night, guys.
Brother whiskey and sister nicotine. I must admit you got your claws in me.